Connected. Okay, it's saying we are live.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Hello. Good afternoon. And I just want to say good afternoon to everyone who may be watching us here on Facebook. I hope that you're joining us here. Hope people can see us. I am Shirley Powell. I am the author. I am the health and wellness coach and the founder of Your Life in Your Hands. And here we have this afternoon the wonderful Miriam Baldwin, and I'm looking forward to sharing with her. So just to introduce Miriam to you, she is the author. She has just launched her brand new book, everyone, called Caregiver 2.0. And we're going to hear more from burnout to powerhouse. She's also going to be sharing her story about caring for her husband and brother. And we are going to find out what her experience was like caring when she was heading for burnout. So welcome, Miriam. It's so wonderful to have you here. We're just going to have a little chat just briefly before we go into the conversation. So I just want to say hi. And it's so lovely to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me for this conversation. I'm really looking forward to it. And just like you mentioned, let's have a nice conversation about
Yes.
Caregiver 2.0, of course, and why. And it's gonna be great. I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited too. So first of all, I'm just going to say good afternoon to our viewers and say welcome. And I just want to say anybody who is watching right now, just want to welcome you and say, I hope if you're having a birthday, to wish you a happy birthday. If you're celebrating an event, pop it in the chat so that we can see, so we can celebrate with you. If you are at school or you've have gone back to school, what it's been like going back. We just want to share with you what's been happening. Everybody's been in lockdown and you've gone back and you're trying to get back in, probably picking up the kids from school. What has it been like for you? So just share it. We want to hear from you. Share it in the chat. I'm hoping that our Facebook live viewers can see us. If you can see us, please let us know. I'm just going to pop the Facebook on just to see if we can see anyone. Can you see anybody on your side, Miriam? Just going to see if anybody's watching on Facebook.
Let me check quickly.
Just to say
if I can see anyone. I'm so excited.
I'm hoping that people can see us. Let's have a look. Yes, it's Shirley saying she likes the video. So I'm assuming, Shirley, can you see us? Can you actually see us live, or are you watching something else? I'm just watching to see, hoping that you can see us. Yes, she can see us because she's watching the live. Yeah. Some other people are there watching. I can see Shirley's there. Karen's there. Hi, Karen. How are you? So nice to see you. So nice to see you all. So lovely to see you. I'm going to put my Facebook chat up so I can actually see the what people are saying as they are watching us and on the page. So yes, we are there. Yes, I can see us on there. It's saying we are live. Wonderful. So let's continue with our conversation. So just to say, normally at this is our first Your Life in Your Hands interview with our wonderful Miriam, and we just normally like to have a little banter when we first come on. So I just wanted to say that, because me and Miriam, we met at Powerhouse Speakers, didn't we, Miriam? Yes. We met the wonderful Lisa Nichols. Whoop, whoop. I love Lisa Nichols. Shout out to Lisa and team. And we met, and we actually created a group called the GGs, the Global Gems. And as a result, we became great friends and still are together as great friends. So shout out to my GGs in the house. If anyone of our GGs are watching, hi. It's so wonderful to have you here with us. So it's so wonderful. So it's midweek, everybody. It's midweek already, hump week, as some people call it. And some of you are probably coming home from school. Some of you with the children. Some of you are still at work, maybe, or some of you may just be working from home still because you're doing that and you're able to hop on to be with us. So we are glad to have you with us. So welcome, and welcome to any caregivers who are here with us today. And we're going to just share with you a few pointers today. And one of the things we're going to share is what Miriam did to self-care and what's important to build, why we should build self-care into our lives, because it's so important. You know, as entrepreneurs, isn't that right, Miriam? As entrepreneurs, we go on and we're still trying to care for family, care for loved ones, you know, and care for, and sometimes we get put on the back burner, right? Sometimes we get put behind, and you know, it's so important to care for us. And that's why I came up with the topic, who cares for the carers? Because, you know, we really need to think about the carers. And I just want to say in the chat, can you just pop in the chat where you're watching from today? Just pop in the chat and say where you're watching. And also, if you're a carer, put a 1 in the chat so we know if you're a carer. Because if you are a carer, this is going to be very relevant for you today. You could be a mom, you could be someone who's caring for a relative. You know, this talk today is going to be awesome, and I am so excited to hear what Miriam has to say to us today. So Miriam, it's so wonderful to have you. You know, as I said, self-care is so important, and you're going to learn some nuggets today. We're going to share some secret sauce with you today so that you can learn how to care for yourself as well. And we have a little prize for you later on, so do stay with us to be able to be with us today. And just, I hope that you enjoy the conversation. So we're going to go right into it. We're going to go right into it. So let's have a little I'm just hoping you can hear this music. Yes, we're going to go right into it now. I don't know if you heard the music there or not, but we're going to go right into it and we're going to ask questions. But before that, I'm just going to pop Miriam, just to remind you who Miriam is. Who is Miriam Baldwin? Here she is. She's our guest speaker. She's a devoted wife, an author, a caregiver, an advocate, and a motivational speaker. Whoop, whoop. And a business entrepreneur and new author. I am so proud of our Miriam, and it's so wonderful to have her with us this afternoon. So we're going to now hear from her. So Miriam, just to share with the audience, can you tell us what was happening in your life before your story? Share with us today. I'm gonna shut up now.
Well, first of all, once again, thank you for this interview. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story. So I met my husband back in 1998. I live in the Netherlands, by the way. I was born in Suriname, South America, but I've been living in the Netherlands for more than 30 years now. And in 1998, I met my husband. And both of us are addicted to traveling. The Miriam you see today, the motivational speaker, the confident woman, the devoted wife, Miriam is living life to the max. She's enjoying life to the max. But you should know that it wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was the caregiver, working full-time, the cook, the cleaner, the driver, the groceries woman. And as I mentioned before, I met my husband back in 1998, so 23 years ago. And he was a diabetic as of his 15th year. And in 1999, he started suffering from kidney failure. So it was hospital in, hospital out, hospital in, hospital out. We had been together for a year, almost a year, when he started suffering from kidney failure. Mm-hmm. And in 2001, he started with dialysis. And in 2003, he finally had a kidney pancreas transplant surgery. So during those 4 years, I was the caregiver, the cook, the cleaner, working full time, the driver, doing all of it. And After his first surgery, the social worker asked the question, Miriam, how are you doing?
Mm.
And I cried and sobbed for 15 minutes because
Wow.
of the heaviness that was on my shoulders.
Mm.
I was mad at myself. Miriam was mad at herself. Why? Because I didn't want my husband Martin to see me like this.
Wow.
They could see a vulnerable Miriam, and I didn't want them to see that because when I had my superhero cape on, like Miriam could do it on her own and could do it all by herself. And when people ask me, how are you doing? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. But I was
Yes, yes, we can relate to that.
so when I came home that night, I looked at myself in the mirror and
Mm-hmm.
asked myself the question, Miriam, what are you gonna do for you?
Yes.
And I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I knew the answer, but I couldn't get those words out of my mouth. And I asked myself the question again, Miriam, what are you going to do for you? What if something bad happens to you? Who's going to take care of Martin? And I started
Right.
crying again. That's when they discovered my burnout.
Mm. Wow.
I had to do something. When people hear this, I write about this in my book as well. And people say, what did you do? But I had to do it to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I could choose, do you want to stay there in the dark or
Mm-hmm.
do you want to get out of Burnout City? And I chose the second option. There was no way I was going to stay there. So
Mm-hmm.
I started taking baby steps and finding information on how to get out of Burnout City. How can Miriam go to the next level? How can Miriam become
Mm.
a better caregiver? How can Miriam become a better person? I think there's something very loud with
Sorry, your papers are ruffling. Can you? What was that again?
there. I heard something um, like an echo, and I thought it was my
Oh,
volume.
oh, okay. There is
So
there's a bit that you can turn the echo off if there is an echo.
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
just lowered my volume. But anyways, so I started finding out which techniques and tools I could use, and I found them. So
Mm.
I got out of Burnout City, and I became a better caregiver. I became a better caregiver, and because I was a better caregiver, I started
Mm.
taking care of myself. I invested in myself.
Mm. Investing yourself. Let's just hold that thought there. Investing in yourself. Isn't that a wonderful thing sometimes we go on and we don't invest in ourselves. How many of you on the chat here invest in yourself? Put a 2 in the chat or a comment in the chat. I think it's so important that you put that point up there, Miriam, about investing in yourself. I love that. And I think it's important that we should invest in ourselves. So you mentioned about these tools, Miriam. Are you going to share with us later about the tools
Yeah,
that you use?
yeah,
You will. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you there. I just wanted to engage the
mhm,
audience. And just to say, those of you who are watching, good afternoon and welcome to Your Life in Your Hands book, Facebook Live. To all our viewers, welcome. We are so glad to have you here. Just pop in the chat where you are watching from, where you're listening from today. We are so happy to have you. I can see we have Shirley in the house. What? Well, Shirley Murphy in the house. Whoop, whoop. So nice to have you here with us today, Shirley. We are so happy to have you. So we're here listening to Miriam Baldwin. She is an author. Just to share with you who missed the beginning, she is an author. She's a devoted wife, an author, a caregiver, an advocate, a motivational speaker, and a business entrepreneur. That is a lot she has to do, but it's so wonderful. And I'm so proud of my dear friend. And not only that, she's a new author of the book Caregiver 2.0 from burnout to powerhouse. And if you've just joined us, she's sharing here some nuggets about what she did to get out of burnout and how, you know, we can relate about the mask and the I am fine, and sharing with some brilliant topics and tools. She's going to share later some tools that she used to be able to get out of that place. So carry on, Miriam, share a little bit more with us.
Well, so after Martin's after we found out about my burnout, I started investing in myself. And I was so committed to become a better caregiver, a better person, to find out who is Miriam, how to love myself more. But before I could do self-care, for instance, I needed to learn how to love myself.
Yes.
How to give myself permission to take time for myself, to take time for myself. And Martin had several surgeries because of his diabetes. He has neuropathy, for instance, so he can walk with a pin in his foot without feeling anything. And he broke his ankle. He had many eye surgeries. We lost count. Martin had so many surgeries. And I think he had the last surgery in 2017 or even 2018. Wow. So I have been a caregiver for more than 20 years now, but that's not all.
Long time. Wow.
Because in November 2012, while I was at the office, Martin called me. He was doing better, thankfully. And he called me and asked me to call my brother, Patrick. And I said, Martin, I'm at the office. What's wrong? He said, hon, I don't have time, but please call him. I'm driving to him right now. Please call him. I talked to him and he sounded very, very weird. I'm worried about him. So I called my brother, and within 5 seconds, I hung up and I called the paramedics.
Wow.
And I told them what I just heard and gave them his address. My brother was talking to me while he had a stroke.
Oh my gosh.
A severe stroke. So
when was this again, Miriam? Just to recap, when did this actually happen?
This happened in November 2012, so more than 8 years ago. So I rushed to his home. When I got there, the police, the firemen, the paramedics, his kids were there. Martin was also there. And as I'm telling you this, I'm reliving the moment. Yes. And when I got there, I wasn't happy with what I saw because my brother didn't look good at all.
Wow.
Long story short, he was paralyzed on the right side of his body because of the stroke.
Wow.
And as I mentioned before, after my burnout, I was so committed to go to the next level, and I did. I had success, and I had promised myself that I would never, ever, ever go back to Burnout City again. No. So after my brother's stroke, it was a time again with fear, anxiety, exhaustion. I felt all of that coming back. They knocked on my door again. But I had promised myself to never ever go back to Burnout City. So I used the techniques and tools again. So I prevented another burnout. But what I also want to share with you, and I think that's very relatable, that many caregivers and non-caregivers, I think they should know what it's like to be a caregiver for a sibling.
Yes.
I went to the hospital every single day together with other family members to shower my brother. The reason why we did this is that, the nurses, they did all they could in the short amount of time they had for the patients. So they could freshen him up every day, but they could only shower him once a week. So we said, no, can we talked to the medical professionals, like, okay, can we do it ourselves? And they said, yes, as long as you do this and this, when it comes to the rules of the hospital. So we started before we started, I talked to my brother. He couldn't talk and walk. And I asked him, Patrick, are you okay with me showering you? And he looked away.
Embarrassment, isn't it?
Embarrassment. But I was also, to be honest, seeing my brother, a grown man, in his full glory. It felt awkward, but there was no way I was going to let embarrassment win from me. His hygiene was top priority. And I was so convinced that showering him daily, let him, if he felt fresh every day, fresh every day, that would speed up his recovery. That would speed up recovery.
That must have been a bit challenging, as you said, awkward, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that with my brother. He probably would tell me to run a mile, but I can understand why you wanted to do that for him, because we all know. Can you relate to those of you watching? Just having a freshen up, just to feel fresh, just to have a shower. If you can't do it yourself, just to feel fresh. How you feel when you come out of the shower, when you just feel really fresh, and you just feel revived, don't you? And not to be able to do that yourself, and having a wonderful, loving, devoted sister, Miriam, coming in to do that. And I can see how it must have felt for your brother as well, because of the embarrassment, because we never, and being unexposed and so on. So share a little bit more about how you felt at that time.
Well, what I felt is, like I mentioned before, embarrassment. It felt awkward. When you're posed with something so delicate, so intimate, we tend to shy away.
Yes. Yes.
There was no way I was gonna let embarrassment win from me. It was too important. His health was too important, and you should know that he was connected to medical devices like a catheter, like the IV, and that's why the doctor said it's okay, but please do it like this, and this is what I would do. And they showed us what to do. They helped us with a special bed for the disabled, a showering bed for the disabled. And I must say, they did all they could to help us, and we were very happy. When we showered him, I remember the first time I showered him together with another family member, and he felt there was embarrassment, of course.
Yes, I can imagine.
Of course, and he couldn't talk, so he couldn't express himself. He was captured in his own body.
So he also had the paralysis down one side, and he wasn't able to communicate. Wow, that must have been very hard for him as well.
Yes.
And you, as his sister, seeing him like that, what was going through your mind when you were doing that? What was actually going through your mind at that point?
What was going through my mind was, Miriam, you have to have hope, faith. Never lose your hope and faith. And since I've done that before with Martin years ago, I felt the strength to continue with what I was doing together with the family. So it was, I wouldn't say easy, but it was easier for me because I had experienced that before. And I talked to my brother and I told him, you know what? I know that you are embarrassed. Your younger sister.
Oh, he's older than you? He was older than you?
Yes, wow. He's 5 years older than me. And I told him, your health is so important and I believe in you. Okay? Let's do this together. And
what
yes, the first time, the first time, yes, it was awkward. But then I started making jokes and I told him, okay, your left hand is still working. Brush your teeth. I'm not going to brush your teeth for you. Do it yourself. You can do it yourself. And he put the toothbrush backward in his mouth. And then he looked at me. Okay, it's in my mouth. What should I do next? So that was quite funny. And Thankfully, he could smile when I left. But that's how we started.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough time. It was a rough time because
I can imagine it was. Yeah.
we didn't know if he would make it. And
Wow.
we celebrated his 47th birthday in the ICU with him.
Wow. So how old is he now? He's 40. He was 47 then.
55 now.
Wow. 55. Wow. That's
And
amazing. That's amazing.
He walks and talks again, and that's something I want to share.
Yeah.
3 months after the stroke.
Before we go into that, Miriam, can we just see what the viewers, audience are saying, and engage the audience for the next part? I hope you're enjoying the show. We're just gonna put up here. We've got Shirley Murphy saying hello, ladies from Nigeria. Hi, wow. Shirley, so wonderful to have you here. And she's agreeing with the comments that you mentioned. And Shirley's put a 1 in the chat. Thank you, Shirley. We're so glad to have you. And welcome to Yvonne. Is this a family member of yours?
Yes.
Yvonne is here saying, boy. So good to have you, Yvonne. So lovely to have you here. And we have Renetta in the house. Whoop, whoop. Renetta is all the way here from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
hi,
wow.
Renetta. So nice to have you from the US. So good to have you in the house. And Shirley is commenting again, saying, wow. So we are so happy to have you here. And if you've had an experience of being a caregiver, or you can relate to what Miriam is saying, pop a 3 in the chat, or just make a comment in the chat so we can see that you can relate. I'm sure I've also been a caregiver. I was a caregiver for a loved one in my family from the age of 12. And I also wrote a chapter in a book about my experience. So I can relate to what Miriam is saying. So it's wonderful to have you all here with us in the house. Amen. So can we, so we want this movie. What led you then, Miriam, to share your story and write your book? And why is it so significant to you? Can you share that with the audience?
Absolutely. There are
saying 3-3.
There are several reasons why I wrote the book. First of all, awareness for caregivers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You often hear the story of the patient. I am telling the story of the caregiver. You know, in America, from what I've heard, in America, 30% of the caregivers gain their wings before the person they take care of.
Wow.
And that's a lot. That's a lot. I want, first of all...
Can you just repeat that, Miriam? Can you just repeat? 30% of the
caregivers gain their wings before the person they take care of.
Wow. Wow.
That's
so when you're saying gain their wings, you mean they pass on before their caregiver because of the wow, that is quite a high percentage, isn't it? Wow.
It is. And you know, I want the world to know what caregivers go through. That's why I wrote my story. And I had the story in my belly. I needed to get it out. And how did I get this story out of my belly? It's a quite funny story. I was talking to a friend whom I also met via an online program of Lisa Nichols. Yes. And we've been trying to connect with each other via Zoom. And August last year, August 2020, in the midst of COVID, we had a conversation via Zoom. So that was the first time we could see and hear each other. We've been talking via Facebook, but that was the first time we could see and hear each other. And I told her my story, who is Miriam? And I wasn't paying attention to my screen. And when I looked at the screen, I saw that she was in tears. And I apologized. I said, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. It wasn't my intention to make you cry. Maybe I should write a book.
Wow.
And she said, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you, because you can help people.
Wow. Yes.
Said, nah, I was just kidding. She said, no. And I would be honored because I am a writing coach. I would be honored to help you.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? And I
And
love that you said you had a story in your belly. You know,
yeah,
sometimes when you have a story in your belly, it has to come out, you know, and it was just wonderful that you did, because we're going to talk about how you help your clients and help people later on as we go along. But it's just wonderful for you
yeah,
to be able to share. And I just wanted to remind the audience, for those of you who are watching, the replay, if you're not watching the live, put #replay in the comments. But just to remind you who this wonderful, beautiful woman is, it's her bio is here. She's Miriam Baldwin. She's our guest speaker. She's a devoted wife, author, caregiver, advocate, and motivational speaker and business entrepreneur. And she's just launched her new book as a new author of Caregiver 2.0, From Burnt Out to Powerhouse. So we welcome you. For those of you who are joining us, we welcome you, and we are so excited to have Miriam here with us. And just wanted to just share that. Who cares for the caregiver? And that is what we're talking about today. So thank you, Miriam, for sharing that. I just wanted to ask you another bit. And I believe you have your book with you, right?
yes, I do.
Ooh, wonderful. So I would love you to share a few lines from your book about self-care and what you did with our audience. And we're going to share with you how you can get a copy of this book later, because these nuggets are so important for you. So we will share that with you later. But let's just hear a few lines from Miriam. I'm so excited to hear.
Absolutely. This is in the self-care chapter, and it has to do with what I
Can you
just
just show them?
yeah.
Just show them the. There you go. Look at that wonderful title, From Caregiver to From Burnout to Powerhouse. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so amazing.
And
So
the burn match.
and we're going to share where you can get that from in a moment. So let's hear from you, Miriam. I'm so excited.
Okay, here it goes. When Martin had his first kidney pancreas transplant surgery, I was still running from home to work, back home, took the car, went to the hospital, came back home late, and slept for a few hours a night. This went on for months without doing self-care. I was exhausted, but I kept going. I was a superhero on an automatic pilot, and I held up big for a long time. Martin was more than ready for chapter 2.0, but his wife-to-be was not doing well. We had a conversation with a social worker in the hospital. She first asked Martin how he felt both mentally and physically. Thankfully, he felt better. Then she turned to me. Miriam, how are you doing? I was overwhelmed, and before I knew it, I started crying and sobbing like a child. I cried for at least 15 minutes and couldn't talk. Let it out, Miriam. For whom have you been holding up big, Miriam? Now I was mad at myself for showing others my vulnerability. They could see that I was tired, that I couldn't do it alone, that I was not okay. When I was done crying, I apologized for using a whole box of Kleenex. Martin held my hand and said, Hon, I am happy you finally showed what you've been hiding for so long. Let's work on this together. What if you take care of me and I take care of you? There
Wow.
went another box of Kleenex. I cried, sobbed, and felt angry because they saw the vulnerable Miriam. This superhero was emotionally and physically on the ground. She thought she could do caregiving alone, but she thought wrong. As I am writing this, I am reliving that moment again. Caregiver, please don't be like me.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. I love that bit where you said that he said, let us take care of each other. Isn't that wonderful? But there are some maybe who are watching who don't have a partner, and they might be having to do it single-handedly. They might be help bringing up a disabled child, or they might be doing something. And we're going to now go on to really just to round off a little bit. We have a few more minutes left, and we're going to say, what did you learn from this experience? And also, what can we learn as caregivers today so we can share this with our audience here? So you able to share that with us, Miriam? And just before I go to that, just to say, we are speaking about Who Cares for the Carer and interviewing Miriam Baldwin. Over to you, Miriam.
Yes, of course, absolutely. You know, as I was transforming from caregiver 1.0 to caregiver 2.0, I had to believe in myself that I could go to the next level, that I could become a better caregiver. So what I learned from this experience is I learned so many things. I'm going to share a few. What I learned is how to love Miriam. Who is Miriam and what is her purpose? Why I should give myself permission to be imperfect.
Wow.
I
love that one.
And to love my imperfection. Because I discovered that my imperfection is someone else's perfection. I learned that I should follow. And follow is an acronym I use. The F stands for forgive yourself.
Wow.
The O stands for be open-minded. The first L, learn new things. Second, listen to your gut.
Sorry, can I just say, so the F was what? Sorry, I just put that here.
The F stands for forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself. Love that.
The O stands for be open-minded.
Open-minded.
The first L, listen to your gut. The second L, learn new things. The O stands for see and grab opportunities.
Wow.
The W is know your worth.
Wonderful. I love that.
So, you know, when it comes to imperfection, when you want to go to the next level, if you take action and it doesn't work the first time, it doesn't matter. Learn from it and take action again. And that's what I did. That's what I did. I
think there was one I missed out. I've got you said, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. F is for forgive yourself. O is for be open-minded. Minded or mindless? Minded. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to change that. And the other one was know your worth.
That's the W.
But I've missed out a couple. What were the other two, so I can share with them again so they can get that? I want them to imprint that in their brains so they can know about this. So share that again. So
learn new things and listen to your gut.
New things. I love that. And listen to your gut. Wow.
See and grab opportunities.
See
and grab opportunities.
Wow. I love that.
And you will find this at the end of every chapter in my book, because I keep reminding you to follow.
See and grab opportunities. Wonderful. Isn't that amazing? I hope you're enjoying this. I just want to share with the audience. I hope that you're enjoying this wonderful nuggets that Miriam is sharing here. The F is, as she was saying again, is the F is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And the other one is be open-minded. Open-minded. Sorry, error there. And the next one is learn new things and listen to your gut. Isn't that powerful? Listen to your gut. You know, I love that. I absolutely love that. And then you have the, know your worth.
That's the last one. That's the W is the last one. See and grab opportunities.
See and grab opportunities. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Miriam. That is so powerful, so powerful. Let us just see what the audience is thinking about this wonderful topic. How let's see what your thoughts are. Is anybody commenting here? Oh, we haven't got anybody commenting at the moment. What are you thinking, Shirley? Are you still with us? Are you enjoying this? Yeah, just pop it in the chat if you're enjoying this session with myself and Miriam. Put a 4 in the chat. Put a 4 in the chat. We are so glad to be here. And those who are going to join us after the show, I just want to say that here we are talking to Miriam, the author here, and powerful woman, Shiro. I love the Shiro. So we are so glad to have you here with us this afternoon. She, as I said again, she's our guest speaker, devoted wife, author, caregiver, advocate, motivational speaker, and business entrepreneur. And you're going to find out in a minute a little bit more about how she can help you if you are looking for some support as a carer. Miriam is going to share something that she has, something special for you. So we're going to go on to that now and say, Miriam, how do you help your clients, and how can you help those listening today? Please share with us.
Of course. First of all, I want to extend 2 bold invitations. The first one is, whatever I've shared here, try to use the information you need in this moment, even if it's 1 or 2 nuggets I shared. Mm-hmm. Use one today and the other one tomorrow, as long as you take action.
Yes.
You know, and I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating if you do it. And the second one is, book a free 15-minute call with me. If you feel like, okay, you need someone to walk beside you and to learn you to and dive deeper into getting you to the next level, the next caregiver's level, and you want to learn more, book that 15-minute, that free 15-minute call with me.
And I'm going to share that in the chat.
Because I have a 6-week live online program. In those 6 weeks, we meet once every week for 1 hour. I will hold you accountable to what you have promised yourself. I will give you doable steps because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I will give you doable steps, and I celebrate all your accomplishments. Even if it's a small one, like, hey, I took a walk for 20 minutes today. I will celebrate. Because when you celebrate things, you are more likely to repeat it.
Yes.
And we live in a very stressful time right now. And I know from experience that when my tank is full, I can pour into someone else from my own overflow. And I want the same for you. I want you to be able to live in peace and harmony while you take care of others. And it doesn't matter if it's a loved one or you do it for your work. It's so necessary. It's not only about doing self-care. It's more. You need to take action to, you have to find out what behavior or part of your mindset you have outgrown. And it can be time management. It can be self-care.
Yes.
It depends which part you have outgrown. And it doesn't matter because you can work on it. And once again, if you don't do it right the first time, learn from it and take action again. So what I'm saying here is information. Collect your information, but collect only the information you need. Make it yours and implement it in your daily life. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm teaching my clients.
That's
and
wonderful.
most of them, after the first week, I've received a couple of messages like, oh my goodness, it worked. And that was after the first week.
Wow.
And because I have experienced it years ago, I know what it's like to be in the dark, in that dark, narrow spot, that nasty place called burnout. It's not a luxury. It's a must to own your well-being. And you are worthy of a wonderful life too. This affirmation really helped me. I am worthy of a wonderful life too.
Yes.
And so are you. You deserve a wonderful life too, even if you take care of others.
I like
I hope
of a wonderful life. I like that. We all are worthy of a wonderful life. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. All of us are worthy of a wonderful life. Yeah. Put that in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat if you agree with that. I am worthy of a wonderful life. I think it's important. I put live, but I meant life. Sorry. I'll edit that. I am worthy of a wonderful life. I think that's so important. So important. Thank you so much, Miriam. This has just been awesome. I can't believe how the time has flown. 45 minutes has flown by already.
It feels like we are sitting on the couch and we are talking, and
yes,
I could talk for hours. And what I also want to say is, many people ask me, "Oh yeah, but is it all the same?" I say, no. Let me be clear. My journey is not your journey. Your journey is not someone else's journey.
Exactly.
The struggles are the same.
Definitely.
The stress, the fear, the anxiety, the exhaustion. It's all the same. And, you know, sometimes we can't see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I was there too. And I said, no, I don't believe it. But I got out of it. I never lost hope and faith. Never.
And as you say that faith is so important. In fact, to those of us, not even if you're not a Christian or a believer, but having a faith, having that faith that you can see, even if it's a mustard seed faith, to know at the end of it, something great is going to come out of this. And I'm sure that your brother and your husband, Michael, he was so pleased to have you to be there as that carer. Number one, and then now him come together and then be a carer number 2.
And you know what? Yes. Both. You can read something. They have written something in the book. It's in the book.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the last thing I want to do is okay. It's
yes, we can see it. Caregiver 2. Can you see it in the audience? Okay. I can see it. Let me see. We've got a few more comments. Let's have a look and see who's commented here.
I have to.
Let me just share the comments. Renetta's put here 555. She's also put, I love this. And she's put here, I'm being fed. Thank you, Renetta, for the comments. Thank you for the comments. Yes, I'm glad that you're being fed.
So yes. Let me explain my cover just in 1 minute. You see the burnt match? That's my burnout.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you see it, guys?
From the burnt match, it didn't burn out.
Oh, it's here at the bottom. Oh wow, I see. Oh my goodness, I never even really looked at it like that thing. I was looking at it as a flower. And
yes,
flower. I can see the design. How amazing is that?
The flower is my recovery.
Yes,
the color orange is the Netherlands. The flower you see on the cover is the Cotomisi. That's a flower you see very often in Suriname. So Suriname is in there, and the color purple was my late mom's favorite color.
Royal color.
My burnout, my recovery, me as a Surinamese woman living in the Netherlands. So it's
wonderful. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for sharing a snippet. And I want to just say to the audience here, those who are watching, our viewers, how you can get a copy of this book. Miriam has shared her link here. So I'm just going to share about her again. And it's Miriam and who she is. And the link, I'm just going to actually pop the link up that you can see how at the bottom here, you can see the link of how you on Linktree. She's also on Instagram and she's also on Facebook. She's friends with me. So if you find me, you'll find her.
What I also
to be link up with Miriam should you want to learn more about her program and to get her book, which is on sale on Amazon. Is that right?
It is on Amazon, all Amazon websites. It doesn't matter if you're in Australia, in the UK, in the Netherlands, in America. It's also on the websites of Barnes & Noble, the website of Target. It is, it's everywhere, Goodreads as well. But if you want a signed copy,
yes,
please send an email to support@MiriamBaldewijn.
Let me pop that in the chat so people can see that. So it's support@MiriamBaldewijn.com. Miriam, make sure I'm spelling your name right here. BOLDEWIJN MiriamBaldewijn.com.
Yeah,
wonderful. This has just been amazing.
Yeah, this book has been 3 times Amazon #1 hot new releases. 3 times.
Wonderful.
And I always said that if I can help one person with my book, I'm happy. And it seems like I'm helping both caregivers and non-caregivers, and I'm happy. And it was my intention. This book is not only for caregivers, it's also for non-caregivers. Why? I always say we have 4 types of people in the world. People who were a caregiver, people who are a caregiver now, people who will be a caregiver, and people who will need a caregiver someday.
Yes, it's true.
So this book is for everyone, especially non-caregivers. And to be honest, even people with dogs, dog owners, asked me, can you help me with my loved one? I said, of course, it's your loved one. It doesn't matter if it's your dog or a sibling or a parent or a child. As long as it's your loved one.
Yes.
And even people who are CEOs, when it comes to time management or something else, or knowing what your purpose is or who you are, if you want to go to the next level, you need to do certain things. You need to take action.
Yes. And Renetta is agreeing with you here. Renetta here, she's put, what? She's agreeing. All right, Renetta. All right, Renetta.
Yeah.
She's agreeing with you.
I have so much I want to share. But it depends on where you are in your journey.
Yes, it does.
And then we start taking, and once again, I will hold you accountable for what you have promised yourself. Going to the next level. And yes, it is possible. Going to the next level doesn't have to mean that you become a CEO. Going to the next level can also mean, oh, I am taking every day 1 hour for myself.
Yes.
Going to the next level for you is
That's
different
wonderful.
than going to the next level for another person.
That is so amazing. I actually say that to my clients and to people that I talk to. Have a power hour. You know, in the mornings, before you touch Facebook, before you open anything, have a power hour for yourself to do your own. I love that. I love that. So Miriam, this is amazing.
I celebrate even 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what you have accomplished. I celebrate with you.
Yes, it's important to celebrate ourselves, you know, so important. Miriam, I have thoroughly enjoyed interviewing you, hearing your story and knowing a bit more of the in-depth of what you actually went through, what you experienced and what you learned. There's so much. So just to summarize, we've had so many nuggets today. I'm sure everyone who's been watching has really enjoying it. And I just want to just recap on a few things that Miriam has said. You know, I can relate when she was talking about that I'm fine, and wearing the mask, you know. But what Miriam said today, for those of you viewers watching, is investing in yourself. It's important to invest in yourself. And another thing that she talked about is learning how to self-love. Self-love is so important. And this actually surprised me a bit when Miriam said that 30% of caregivers gain their wings or die before the person they care for. And so that person they care for is left behind. So it's so important to be able, you know, not to just be that, as she said, superhero, which I love. You know, we can all be put on the cape and be the Wonder Woman, but we have to take care of ourselves and realize that it's okay not to be okay and take that time out for us. So Miriam has shared this, and she's also said that she learned how to love Miriam. She said she took time out to learn how to love herself. And it's so important, because if we need to love ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, then how can we expect other people to love us if we're not even loving ourselves? It's important to love ourselves. And I like what she said. And Miriam, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did put here, you said, who is Miriam and what is her purpose? Is that right?
Yeah.
What is her purpose? We all have been created on this earth with a purpose. So we have a purpose to do something in life. So it's important to walk in our purpose. And the other thing she mentioned was to love your imperfections. I love my imperfections, you know, because, you know, when nobody is perfect, 100% perfect. So we have to love who we are and work with who we are, warts and all, right, Miriam?
Yeah.
Warts and all. And I love the acronym. Did you not love the acronym, guys? Follow. And she said, F is to forgive yourself. And the next one was, you said about being, is it mindful?
Open-minded.
Open-minded, that was it. Let me just change it, because I kept putting the wrong thing up there. So the next one was be open-minded. It's so important to be open-minded. I just saw a squirrel going in my garden. I was wondering what's happening. Be open-minded. So it's so important to be that. And the next one she said was to, is it learn new things? That was the next one?
Yeah.
Learn new things and listen to your gut, viewers. Listen to your gut. You know, who listens to their gut? I know I listen to my gut. Many a time people say you have a sixth sense. So important to do that and listen to your gut. And the next one was know your worth. Have I missed one? Oh no, sorry, I missed one out. See and grab opportunities. Thank you, Miriam, for reminding me. And the last one being know your worth. Wow. So, you know, it's just, and also she mentioned about taking action. So important to take action. And yeah, so it's wonderful. So Miriam has this free 15-minute link here, and the link is here for you to contact her. We probably will put it on the Facebook page as well, so that you can actually get in touch with her. And just remember what she said. And I want you all to repeat on this audio, viewers now, I am worthy of a wonderful life. Repeat after me. I am worthy of a wonderful life. And remember, Miriam said, if you would love a signed copy of her book, here is how you can get hold of Miriam at support@miriambaldwin.com. Number ×3, #1 bestseller. Whoop, whoop.
It was the #1 Amazon hot new release.
New release. Hot new
3
release.
times. What I also ask my clients when I start with them, I ask them to come empty, because I'm gonna learn them new things. Come empty.
Yes, definitely.
Come empty, be open-minded, and I want to leave our audience with something I had to do myself. If you love yourself, the first question I asked, do you love yourself? 99% says yes. Okay. Write 2 things within 15 seconds that you do to show that you love yourself.
Wow.
2 things.
2 things.
What do
I
you
love
do
that.
to show that you love yourself? 2. 15 seconds.
Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. We want to see what Miriam is saying. Pop that in the chat. What do you do to show that you love yourself? Wow. Wonderful. Thank you, Miriam, for sharing that. Renetta here. Renetta's got here. Renetta's saying, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of a wonderful life. Wow. She's congratulating you.
Thank
you, Renetta. We're so glad to have you here commenting. So it's wonderful. So it's a shame we have to bring it to an end because it's been so amazing. But I just wanted to remind those of you who are watching the replay, you have just been listening and to the wonderful Miriam Baldwin, we're talking about who cares for the caregivers, and we've just had an awesome time. And I want to just share with you, if you enjoyed this topic, if you enjoyed this this session with us here, this Facebook Live, we will come together and do some more events just like this. And I want to just also share with you that I'm also a caregiver and a health professional. In my business, I do health and well-being, where I screen people for diabetes and cholesterol, and to prevent them from going on to get things like a stroke. As Miriam was saying, her brother had it. It's so important to look after our health, because your health is your wealth. So I'm just going to pop up here how you can get in contact with me as well. You can find us here on Facebook, and my website there, Your Life in Your Hands, our Facebook page, or we're also on Instagram at Your Life in Your Hands, which is AYLIYS, or you can find us also on our Twitter account. But I just wanted to share with you that you can actually get in touch, and if you want to hear a bit more about a different topic or anything to do with us, contact us. Go to our pages, like our pages, and share and tell other people about us, so that we can actually share some great nuggets with you. And I want to just share that also, that I'm actually going to be writing a book on who cares for the carers, and I'm looking to speak to many carers about their experience. So please share with others so that they too can actually come and find out more about and share their experience and share their story, just as Miriam has shared hers. So I want to just say, as we round off today, that remember that we help you to live and stay well, and do take care of yourself, because your health is your wealth. Thank you so much, Miriam, for coming along today. We are so honored to have you with us. Thank you, everyone. And let me just see if we've got any more lasting comments here. No more comments from the Facebook page, but we are so glad that Yvonne, Renetta, and Shirley, we are so thankful for you joining us this afternoon. God bless you all, as we now are going to say goodbye. Any lasting words, Miriam, before we go?
Remember, you are worthy of a wonderful life too.
Amen. You are worthy of a wonderful life too. You've had so many juicy nuggets from Miriam today. So I hope that you will take on board what has been, as Renetta said, she's been fed, and take that and actually reach out to Miriam if you want some support. Thank you all for watching, and we will be in touch for our next session, when we will be coming on Facebook Live again. Thank you very much. And thank you, Miriam. Bye.